Hello, virtual Elvis Weekers. It's Patrick Dunn, your online Elvis Week host, and I am standing here with the Vice President of Archives and Exhibitions, Angie Marchese.
Hey, Dad, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm a little tired because it is Elvis Week, and
we don't sleep during Elvis Week.
We don't sleep during Elvis Week. It's like the North Pole at Christmas Eve. But you're here. You're joining us today.
We got the good gloves.
The good gloves.
Yes.
Because for the first time ever, we're doing a behind-the-scenes archive show and tell for our virtual Elvis Weekers.
Which is so much fun. We are actually here in our archive studio. And so I'm going to give you a little inside peek of a day in what my world looks like. So if you take one of our many UVIP tours, you do get a chance to come into the archive studio, and in this room you can interact with some of the collection with one of our UVIP guides. And here we kind of do something I call storing in plain sight, because some of our artifacts are a little too big to put in boxes. For example, this 1974 Story & Clark baby grand piano. We're gonna step a little closer here. This is one of the last pianos that sat in the music room at Graceland. And what's really unique about our collection is that not only do we preserve things because they belong to Elvis, but we preserve things as instruments because these things were made to be played. So we actually have our pianos tuned and cleaned twice a year.
Wow.
The gentleman who takes care of our pianos for us is a gentleman named Doug Pilot. His dad was the one that actually sold Elvis this piano and took care of the pianos here at Graceland.
Brilliant.
And if you want to
Just make sure it's in tune.
Make sure it's in tune. If you saw the Christmas special, we actually let John Legend play this piano. This is the piano that he played during the Christmas special. And that's what it's made to do as an instrument. So it's important that we do keep them played as instruments.
Does that include the guitars in the exhibitions as well?
It actually does include the guitars as well. So they do get tuned, they get played.
I love that.
And that's just to preserve them for what they are.
Yeah.
Not only are they Elvis's instruments, but they are instruments and they're made to be played.
I feel like you would want them to be able to be playable. Like,
exactly.
And I remember some videos of like when Austin Butler was here promoting the Elvis film, he played Elvis's
And
guitar.
Paul McCartney has played Elvis's guitar.
Yeah.
But I also have a local guy here who comes once a year and takes care of the guitars for us.
How do you get that job to come tune and maybe just play a little bit of Elvis guitars?
Just give me a call.
Okay, perfect. Now that we know.
Now I'm going to take you inside our storage facility and give you a behind the scenes on what we do day in and day out.
Let's go.
Okay. So we're about to go inside the archives. No photographs. I'm going to let us video.
I was going to say, yeah.
No recording. If you're, we're special.
Yeah.
Phones, food,
no
drinks beyond this point. This is where all the cool stuff is.
I mean, you know,
And
I'm
it
at
literally-
Graceland, I don't follow rules anyway. So.
It literally is the coolest place on property. I mean, it's 68 degrees in here. You ready?
Oh, we love that medicine.
I mean, it's only 100 outside,
We
so
love that.
let's go.
Worth the price of admission alone. Whoa.
So this is boxes and boxes and more boxes. But this is our workspace. So this is where we do everything from prepping for exhibits to conservation to research. It all happens right here in this room.
I mean, how many pieces would be in this room right now that we're looking at?
Right now, there's probably around 3,000 to 4,000 pieces in this room. This room continues to go on through those doors. There's a whole nother building in the back there where we have close to 1 million documents and photos and more, and 5,000 pieces of wardrobe. This building is built cement blocks. It's supposed to be able to take a direct hit from a tornado. So if the weather gets bad outside, just come work.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Valuable space.
Valuable space. So this is our gigantic workspace. And some of the things that I have here, you might recognize these. This is a handwritten football play.
Oh, yeah.
We're literally putting back in the archives things we just took off display from the football exhibit that was across the street.
Yeah.
X's and O's when we expanded the Lisa exhibit earlier this year.
Genius.
And in this box, I love to say everything in archives is in a gray box, but we do have tan ones as well.
I see. Yep. And even the boxes are special.
Yeah, these all come from Gaylord, which is an archival supply company online. They're acid-free. They've got metal edges so they don't dent.
Yep.
Acid-free tissue. And this which you might recognize from photography, is Elvis's football shirt.
Yes.
I mean, you can see the wear and tear in it.
Indeed.
The sweat marks.
I mean, he wore it, that's for sure,
stains.
right?
Yes.
How cool. What a neat piece. It's the tag. York Arms Sporting Goods.
That was in downtown Memphis.
South Main Street, Memphis. A large. There you go.
Yep. Wow. And when you look at the old football photos of Elvis playing football in this shirt, he actually is wearing two shirts. This one and a longer sleeve shirt underneath.
A little padding, you know. The boys were rough.
Because it was full contact.
Yeah, well.
Yep.
How
So
cool.
when these are cataloged in the database, we would actually catalog. You see, there's kind of a stain there.
Sure.
And all of these stains on the white trim, all of that's cataloged in the database system.
It is. So every single detail.
Every single
piece.
detail is cataloged.
Is your closet this organized?
No.
Okay.
My daughter's is.
Just wanted to see.
Yeah. You know, you would think that my daughter's whole life is cataloged like this.
The organization level is through the roof.
Yes.
Clearly.
Well, our Lifeline is our database system, which I'll show you in a second.
Right.
Which actually works kind of like a Google search.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, which is a Google search is the most amazing thing ever developed because I can say everything I want, everything blue or everything black,
And it's coming up.
and it's coming up. So,
And these details you archive also, because I know the exhibits that travel, or like there's a London exhibit right now.
Right, yes.
All of that is checked, detailed, logged
in the database system.
in the database before departure.
Yes. And so everything gets conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
When we first got everything out of like the attic, we did detailed condition reports on everything.
Right.
Give everything a home, and it gets boxed up either on display or in a box somewhere in our storage facility. And then when we pull anything, we go through the conditioning notes again to make sure nothing has changed.
Right.
Either from display or from storage.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we take it on to London, for example, when we get it in London, we go through the same conditioning reports to make sure nothing happened while it was shipping.
Wow.
And then it goes on display there. And then when we take it off display, do the same notes
Condition
again.
report.
And then when it gets where it's going again,
Condition report.
And that, so it's my endless process
Yeah.
of making sure that nothing has changed in the condition of the item.
Yeah, which is
And
so
then
important.
if it has, we know when it happened.
Okay.
And then we try to figure out how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what, so we can either prevent it from happening again, depending on what it was, or figure out, is it continued deterioration of something going on with the material or things like that.
Incredible.
So this box, I actually just went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We swapped out our items that were on display there.
Okay.
And this box here is some of the stuff that was on display there that was celebrating the movie King Creole.
Yes.
And we just opened up, I don't know if you've been to Entertainer yet, but we have a new...
Not this trip.
No, well, you have to go.
I'll be there.
We have a new King Creole exhibit, inner immersive exhibit.
Okay, now.
It's like a little French Quarter-esque kind of display. No alcohol allowed.
I was gonna say, is there a crawfish boil or
Elvis does sing crawfish, but these are some of the items that we have pulled from the movie King Creole. They didn't quite make the exhibit, so we have original sheet music. We've got a lobby card for the movie. And then these are some really cool documents that we pulled, including the original text message.
Yep.
Western Union Telegram.
Union Telegram.
Yeah, and this is to a fan in Sweden who apparently called to talk to Elvis.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and it says, my manager, Colonel Parker, told me about your phone call today. Sorry I wasn't able to talk to you as I was on location here at Paramount Studios, where we are making my new picture, King Creole, for Mr. Hal Wallace before I go into the service on March 20th. I wish to thank all of my fans in Sweden that have been so loyal to me, and many thanks also for your call to the studio. Respectfully, Elvis Presley.
On January 22nd, 1958.
58. Mm-hmm. And then,
Just a casual telegram from Elvis.
how much do you think it cost to cut Elvis's hair in 1958?
I don't know. $6?
$4. Handwritten receipt. There was actually 3 haircuts, 2 on stage 4, and 8 boot shines.
For $4, 50 cents a boot shine.
Yeah,
Wow.
basically. Paid with check number 786.
I wouldn't even want to deal with the pressure of cutting Elvis Presley's hair at any point in his career.
Especially when you're cutting it on a movie
For
set.
$4.
For $4. And then this is actually a type letter to Tom Diskins, who is Colonel's right-hand guy.
Right.
From Colonel. Says, I've talked over everything with Elvis in regards to RCA Victor, and this really shows you that Elvis was in charge of the releases. It says, he agrees, as before, that the release setup for the single and for the 2 extended play releases should remain as planned, and no long playing album on this picture. Elvis is going to listen again tonight and tomorrow and will advise me by Saturday night which W-I-C-H,
Well, you know.
2 turns he likes to be for the single.
Wow.
So he was making all the decisions.
Yeah, hands on.
And Colonel was making sure that Tom knew to tell RCA, this is it.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yes.
And then this right here is for rental of a guitar and an amp for the filming of King Creole.
Yep. Still Mr. Tom Diskins, sure.
Rental of a Gibson and an amplifier from February 20th to March 20th. So a month, basically $545.
Yeah. Nice guitar.
Yeah.
King Creole.
King Creole. And then this is actually Elvis's leather-bound copy of the script for King Creole.
Whoa.
Could you memorize all those lines?
Probably. That is.
And it has all the revised pages in it. You've got the original date as January 3rd of 58, and then you've got the blue revised pages in it as well.
All of the additions.
All the additions. Yeah, this one's February 17th.
How cool is that?
And of course, Elvis was Danny. And then you've got, of course, all of the what they're supposed to be doing, laughing loudly or walking and talking. Opening scene, setting the stage for the film.
I mean, as an actor, I'm nerding out right now. I've held some cool scripts, but I've never held Elvis Presley's script.
Danny's voice singing crawfish. I like this. Camera pulls back to include Danny on the adjoining balcony, dressed in a t-shirt and jeans, singing lustedly in harmony with the crawfish woman to the finish of the song.
Brilliant. Listen, how cool is that?
So we have various things, as you can see, that I've pulled for you.
Sure.
You might notice things look kind of shiny.
Yep.
So this is a process we call Mylar wrapping.
Mylar wrapping.
And we do this to be preservation of the item itself.
Sure.
So I can take this item, I can mount it, I can put Velcro on the back of it, I can hang it on a wall, I can handle it without gloves if I needed to, because I'm not actually touching the artifact itself.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing about this is I can also just simply untape it.
So it's kind of an easy in, easy out as well.
Now you have Elvis's first cover of his TV guide.
How neat.
We found this in a filing cabinet in Vernon's office under a 1958 phone book.
Like you do.
In mint condition.
September 8th to the 14th, the plain truth about Elvis Presley. I'm sure it was that simple. That
Yeah, so like the plain truth
will just be in the TV guide in September.
Yes. And then so this is the first time Elvis was on the cover, and when he was on the Ed Sullivan Show for the first time, which was September the 9th.
Yep. Casual.
There it is.
In the TV listings. Wow.
Right there.
That's a great photo, too. Look at the cool artwork. Elvis Presley, controversial rock and roll singer who is presently the idol of the teenage world, headlines tonight's show. Presley made a special trip east for this performance. In Hollywood, he is making his first motion picture, The Reno Brothers. All right. Also on the star lineup. I didn't know, I could not tell you who else was on that episode of the Ed Sullivan Show, but apparently
there were plate spinners, I think.
the Vagabonds Novelty Quartet, singer Dorothy Sarnoff, the Amen Brothers, Egyptian Tumblers. What would it be like to be sitting backstage at the Ed Sullivan Show and just be like, hey, I spin plates, what do you do? And it's Elvis being like,
I'm a singer.
I got a little tune called Hound Dog.
That's all I got, yeah. But how cool is that? Anyway, so this is the process. It's an acid-free backing board with a Mylar wrapping, and now I can set this back here, and all I have to do is tape this back up, and then it's back on display. Yeah.
Oh, great.
There you go. And it's not damaged. The other really cool thing about our collection is that not only do we have items and we have documents, but when Elvis performed at Westwood Park, he gave away an initial ring as a door prize. So here is actually the receipt from March of '56 for his initial ring.
March 24th, one initial ring EP 14 karat gold set in finest white diamonds. In initials, top is white. 185?
Yes, that's how much the initial ring cost. And this is a ticket
50s.
to the Westwood Park show
Wow.
on July 4th, 1956. And one lucky person that attended that show got that ring as a door prize.
Goodness gracious. Donation of $275 for ringside. You can't get any better than that, can you?
So these two pieces, plus the footage of Elvis talking about the ring,
Right.
on the dance party show with Wink Martindale, kind of tells a whole story about an appearance here in Memphis, July 4th.
And so you just dig through a million documents until you find the stuff.
Until you find the stuff to help tell the stories.
Put 2 and 2 together.
Yep.
2 and 2, and then 2 more, and 2
And
more.
then 2 more, and 2 more, and 2 more.
2 more.
But we also have really cool things like Elvis's personal record collection. You ever want to know what Elvis listened to?
Always. Well, I know like a couple of the ones from the tour.
Well, these right here, these are 45s. We can just randomly pick one out. This is Walk Away by Matt Monroe.
There you go. Matt Monroe.
Matt Monroe.
Walk Away.
Let's see what else is in this box. Timmy Yore, Make the World
Go Away.
Make the World Go Away.
Heard of it?
You might have heard of this one. You could tell what that one is.
I don't know if I'm entirely familiar with Abbey Road by the Beatles. Here Comes the Sun. Yeah, I guess. And this was in Elvis's collection.
It was in Elvis's collection.
He really did
He
appreciate the Beatles.
He appreciated all kinds of artists.
Yeah.
But it's really cool when you can see things like this. We're literally in the TV room at Graceland.
Yeah. What a neat thing, too, like his mutual respect for acts at the time.
Yeah, for other artists.
I guess, I mean, why would you feel threatened if you're Elvis Presley?
But he loved hearing what everybody was doing. He felt that there was room in the world for all kinds of artists.
Well, and of course, he did some covers during That's the Way It Is, the rehearsal sessions when he was getting ready for Vegas.
And then this is from Colonel Parker's collection.
From Parker's.
Yes.
John Lennon, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, The Beatles. Care of Mr. Ed Sullivan. Congratulations on your appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show and your visit to America. We hope your engagement will be a successful one and your visit pleasant. Give our best to Mr. Sullivan. Sincerely, Elvis and the Colonel.
So this would have been
So
Colonel
good.
Parker's copy of the telegram that Ed Sullivan read on stage.
Yep.
When the Beatles first appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh, good.
And of course, the Beatles never saw this, and so when Paul McCartney toured Graceland, I actually pulled this out and showed this to him, and it's the first time he ever had seen a copy of the actual telegram.
Goodness gracious.
That was read to them when they first appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964.
64. Incredible.
Now, speaking of Colonel Parker, we do have his collection as well as Vernon's collection of documents.
Right.
Colonel kept everything by events. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. So, for example, this book here, this is all the publicity on the yacht, the Potomac, from 1964.
Oof.
So, Elvis bought the Potomac and he donated it eventually to St. Jude. But originally, they were going to donate it to the March of Dimes. And so, this book here is what Colonel kept.
Wow.
It's everything about the USS Potomac. From Elvis buying it to the telegrams of trying to get it to the March of Dimes. Events
in connection with the yacht Potomac.
When it was purchased, the auction in Long Beach. It was presented on January 30th. For $55,000, that's how much it was purchased for. It eventually sold for $75,000.
Wow.
Press release by the March of Dimes, February 6th, advising that they were unable to accept it.
What?
Yes, they had no way to sell it. They didn't see a vision.
I guess.
Yeah, and what was so fun about it is that Danny Thomas really didn't have a way of selling it either, but he saw the vision of the press. He knew that there was a picture of him and Elvis in front of a sign that said St. Jude on the side of this boat.
Right.
That was worth $1 million in fundraising for St. Jude.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the boat. It was about the photo.
Yeah, listen. Way to go, Danny.
Yeah. Anyways, and then so it goes all the way through the photo call for the Potomac, but the Los Angeles Times articles.
Wow, look at that.
But this literally chronicles the whole.
So was this like Colonel's MO? Is there a lot of these books?
There's a lot of
by event?
By events.
Was that easier for you to
work
through?
It is, because see, Vernon is month, date, and location.
Okay.
So if I know if Elvis bought something in September of '56, I can go to that file, but I have to know when something happened.
Right.
With Colonel, I can go, okay, I want to know everything about the Potomac, and I've got a whole binder.
So he was pretty good.
Yes, very good.
All right.
Now, this book here, this is actually the Lisa Marie flight logs.
Wow.
From the summer of '77.
Okay.
So you actually can go through here. The last time the Lisa Marie flew in this flight log is September 18th of '77.
Okay, sure.
And this is the crew that flew on it. It went from Memphis to LA, or LA to Memphis. You read it backwards.
I see.
So it went from LA to Memphis.
Let's see, both landing lights cracked.
It goes through it. It tells you what it tells.
Mechanical discrepancies. Sure. Yep.
And then on the 17th, it went from Memphis to LA. So it was there for a day.
Sure, September 17th.
And then the flight before that is August 17th. It went from Memphis to LA and back to Memphis.
Wow.
And then on the 15th, they just flew around Memphis. So this is the day before. This is the day before Elvis passed.
Yeah. Was it just like a test flight, little joyride, or?
I don't know. It just.
Well, I see Strauss here.
Yep.
And Mr. Strauss, Captain Strauss, will be a guest here at Elvis Week.
You can ask him.
There you go.
You say you saw the flight log, and we can say,
buddy,
"Hey,
we wanna
what did
know."
you guys do on the 15th at 1 o'clock? 1300. Boarding time was 1300. But yeah, so and then 7-1. But so it goes back. So you could actually,
Sure. Neat.
you know, on the 27th, it went from Memphis to Indianapolis back to Memphis.
Brilliant. Same day.
Same day.
Bing, bang, boom.
So over here, this is our database
Okay.
on a big screen. I pulled up a box. I know where it is. These are actually Elvis's personal scarves.
Very cool.
Yes. So if I click on a record, say if I click on 1590.
Whoa.
There you go.
Event notes was on exhibit in Fashion King, February 2010 to January 2012.
And then these are the
general
notes. General notes. This is the condition note. So you see outside the garment, there's a loose thread on the top right edge corner, about 8 inches from upper left corner. Loose thread.
Wow.
Loose thread. So it tells
Loose
you
thread, yeah.
everything that is wrong with the scarf.
Yep.
There's a
Holes at the
black
center,
dot
yeah.
on the red border around 9.5 inches from the lower right corner.
Very specific.
And then you've got your keywords here.
So these would come up on your search engine.
Yes. So my Google search, if I put color navy, or if I put navy,
Yeah.
it would pull this scarf up,
This would
along
come
with everything else that had navy as a keyword.
Goodness gracious.
Or if I put Fashion King in, it would pull up everything that was part of the Fashion King exhibit.
I see.
So this is what the database screen looks like for all of our items.
Wow.
If anything's been on loan, then that's filled in here. So like if it was in the Brazil exhibit or Australia or London or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's where these notes are here.
I see.
If it's a photograph that's restricted by a photographer or we have to get clearance before we use it, those go there.
Makes sense.
And then if there's any other restrictions, like it can't be displayed because it's fragile, or if it has any issues that we need to know why we can't work with it, or if we're working with it, we have to be careful, that all goes here on restrictions.
Wow. And these are all fluid. They're just continually
Being
updated. Nothing
updated.
is frozen.
Nothing's frozen.
because it
And
has to.
whenever anything gets moved, all those notes get put in here as well.
Right.
So if it changes boxes, it will be was in box this, now in box that. So we can track its movement as well.
Would this process be for even the documents that
Yes.
we've seen? So everything. Little
Everything.
Tear in the corners, smudge of ink. And how many documents did you say you have?
1 million?
So there's 1 million of these.
Yes.
Somewhere.
If there's a fold, if there's a rip, if there's a tear, if there's a crease, if there's a rust stain from a stapler,
Right.
staple holes, all of that is noted in the system.
We're very lucky at
Yes.
Graceland and Elvis Presley Enterprises.
Hey,
that
you wanna
somebody's this meticulous because
how about give me either a keyword or a number.
a keyword or a number. I'll give you a number or a year. How about a year? 1973.
So that pulled up 5,181 items.
Just 1 year.
There's one
And
year.
we've got several of them. And we see records, of course, albums and recordings, Stax demo. That's very cool.
Yeah. Lots of documents.
Oh, these are the documents I see.
Yeah.
Medium loose paper, condition fair.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Photography.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, look. Those are the robots from Aloha.
From Aloha.
Yep.
Jack Lord.
Uh-huh.
Color negative. Yep.
Yep.
Of course, them. How good that looked in 1973.
Yep.
That is so neat.
So, I mean, again, and so it pulls up everything from 1973.
Whoa.
Hey, there's a bill
There's the bill. Let's
for
see.
$79.
Oh, July 25th, 1973. Current due 39. Paid
Yeah.
written above. Yeah.
For the
Paper
alarm system.
residue for the alarm system. So everything is documented. Goodness gracious.
It says there's a T written above current.
T written above current. Yeah. Okay.
So that's our database system.
That is rather mind blowing. That's so
Isn't it
much
great?
information.
But that one box I had that I just showed you a minute ago actually happens to be right here.
Okay.
So I thought that you can walk over here. So I thought I could show you.
Oh. There it is. In the flesh.
Remember it said there were holes?
I was going to say holes. Yep. Oh, wait, they're tiny.
Yeah.
A couple of loose threads.
There they are.
And
You see them in the light?
Yep.
They're right there.
Was there
And
maybe
there's
from
the
a pin or something?
Yep, and there's the loose threads.
Yep. Is there a
There's a
black
loose
dot
thread.
somewhere 9 inches above a corner? Wow. Look at the detail.
I love this scarf. Is this not beautiful?
No kidding. Is that the black dot?
Yep.
Right there.
Yep, there's the black dot. See?
There it was. 9 inches. Let me see. Ready? I'll take the camera and see if I can find the black dot. There it is. That is
There's the
little
black dot.
That is 9 inches from the corner.
Yep. So, and then,
The man had style.
and if you noticed in our keywords, one of the keywords there were years. One was 2008 and one was 2024. Those are keywords that we do when we do inventory.
Okay.
And that means that we have verified all the conditioning notes as well as locations.
Okay.
And we keep updating those keywords as well.
Sure.
So, and everything also gets this little tag, which has its inventory number on it and its location on it.
Goodness gracious.
And so whenever we're doing exhibits, you'll find these tags all over the floor of the exhibits, and we collect them in little baggies at the end of the exhibit.
I bet.
And then we'll put them back when the items come off display.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, it's a good thing you're here keeping this place organized, because if it was up to a guy like me, I don't know. We might not be in as good a shape, everybody.
it's a lot of fun, isn't it?
I will, when you love what you do, right?
Yes. And when you have beautiful things like scarves like this,
mean-
isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah. I'd rock one of those today, let alone.
And there's
December.
so many things. We are still a very active archive. As a matter of fact, we are getting ready to continue to catalog Lisa Marie stuff.
Oof, of course.
That we've received. So we've got lots of things that we're doing, not only Elvis, but Lisa. And so we're very, very busy.
Okay.
You want to see what's in this box?
Of course I want to see what's in that box.
When you come to archives, you never know what you're going to
He was
see.
going to say no.
Look what this is.
Ooh.
This is the medallion that Elvis received in January of 1971 when he was named one of the 10 outstanding men of the nation.
Of course. One of the very few award ceremonies he attended.
Yes, and he wore it both on that night as well as
Oh, brilliant.
just wore it on a day-to-day basis.
Did he really on
Yes.
a day-to-day basis?
He was very proud of that award.
He gave that incredible speech, too.
I read comic books and I was the hero of the comic book. I saw movies and I was the hero in the movie. So every dream that I ever dreamed has come true 100 times. And these gentlemen over here, you see these type people who care, who are dedicated, you realize if it's not possible that they might be building the kingdom of heaven. It's not too far-fetched in reality. I'd like to say that I learned very early in life that without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, a man ain't got a friend. Without a song, the road would never bend. Without a song. So I'll keep singing a song. Good night. Thank you.
But you can tell it was worn.
Yeah, I mean, I
There's-
love that though.
There's lots of wear on the back. You can see the dirt.
I mean, if you gave me a medal for anything, I'd probably casually wear it too.
Yes.
I get it.
Kind of like the gold belt.
I may wear my
You may wear your gold
tribute artist belt.
I'll have to
around.
ask your daughter. Do you wear it around
Every
the
now and
house?
then, yeah, just doing the dishes. I love that you can.
You just never know what you're going to find in a gray box here.
It's so special to him too.
Yep. And there's one other box that's here. I think it's this box here. So, you know, Elvis was not a good gift receiver. He loved to give gifts, but
Sure.
this was a gift that was given to him by the Memphis Mafia, the Christmas of 1964.
Okay.
And it is
Heavy, apparently.
very heavy.
Goodness. Whoa.
It is actually a Bible. And if you open it up, there is the tree of
course.
life with the guys' names in it.
Right. He had this was a necklace as well.
Yes, it was. And there's also a plaque in the archives that has the same thing on it.
Mm-hmm. Redwood, Jerry Schilling, of course. Davis. Wow.
How cool is that?
Very light, boys. Good choice. It never ends for you, does it?
Never ends. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed and our virtual world has enjoyed this look inside a day in my world.
Angie, we love you.
Love you guys.
You know, we wouldn't be able to have this without you.
Come play with me anytime.
Anytime. Hey, Virtual Elvis Week. Something else fun is coming up next. It's probably going to be a concert, could be a conversation, or more behind the scenes. Either way, we hope you're enjoying it and keep taking care of business.
Happy Elvis Week.